This is a 2007 Nissan Armada. It has a problem with the defrost heater door actuator making a pecking noise in the dash, and it needs replaced. There's a couple of different actuators in this vehicle, and you can have a pecking noise down here by the gas pedal, or you can have one in the center dash behind the glove box. And this one was clearly pecking above the gas pedal. There was a white, that white arm back there is just rocking back and forth, but staying put where it's trying to center itself, and it's probably out of time and can't make it back to the 0 point, so it doesn't know the door's shut or open, whichever the case may be. Something that's needed is a 5.5 socket or wrench to get the top bolt, and a 7mm to get the lower bolts in the actuator, and a 7mm wrench to get the one that's kind of in front of a metal bracket. First thing I did was just get in this panel and pop it loose on the front console and pull it back. It's got a little spearhead in the front. It sits in that hole, and then just two retaining clips in the end of it. Sits in them slots. After you got all the screws out of the actuator, just take a screwdriver or wrench or whatever and hold this white arm back against the air box, and then slide the actuator out from behind that piece of angle wire. Hold that white arm back so it gives it some clearance to get out from around this angle wire, like that. This is the actuator out of the vehicle. These are the two 7mm on the bottom, and the 5.5 that's beside the plug-in on the top. And only a 5.5 will fit that. I suppose you get on a pair of pliers if you can reach up in there and turn the head of it. 5.5 is usually not common. I'm going to take it out and replace it with a regular screw. It actually has an E socket head on it. And install it back in there. You see the new one comes with the gap in the splines facing those three lines, and I took the old one out and the gap is off to the side. Swing that arm in there by hand a little bit. This should slide right in. If it's not going in, it's not aligned properly. I took this white plastic arm and pulled it down. It installs with that slot just about a finger width past this depression right there is where the motor will slip in when you buy a new one. Real easy. If it's trying to go in hard, it's not aligned properly. And I'll go ahead and put the screws back into it and plug it in at the top. One screw in front of that metal bracket's kind of a pain getting out and putting in. Just get it in there straight and use a wrench to put it back in or take it out, whichever you're doing. And plug it in. The plug-in's pointing straight up at 12 o'clock. Be advised that this white arm, if you're manipulating it around the line the spline's up, it's covered with lithium grease. So be sure to have a rag and wipe it off your hands, whatever you're contacting, so you don't get it all over the interior. See if it did any good here. Seems like it's working as advertised. Yep, that's some defrost. That's the one that was causing the trouble right there. And usually after you turn the switch off. That white arm would just peck back and forth. Looks good to me. Just need to stick a panel back on. This point goes in that hole and underneath the edge, and slide it into place and lock it. Good to go.